Well, in our previous classes, we have seen about the bulletin boards, advantages, disadvantages, as well as the panel board. So in the panel board also, we have seen that how we have to prepare it, what are the advantages and disadvantages. So we'll move on towards our next topic of the today's class. Okay, in the same AV aids only, we are seeing about the graphic aids only. In the graphic aids, some more we are seeing. The next one is the magnetic board. As that of the panel board, we are having the magnetic board also. What is this magnetic board? The magnetic board is that one, the board which is made up of a or a frame it is there, which is made up of the iron and on the, or even the magnet also. There will be some feature in that one where we can stick the iron things or the magnetic things towards that particular board. So that type of board we are calling it as a magnet board. Next, the pegboard. This pegboard you might have been seen or you might be familiar with this type of pegboard. So this pegboard is a board where there are holes in this one. Okay, especially this type of boards are used in the hospitals or in the hotels or in the banks. Okay, yeah, in some government institutions also they are used. Okay, so here what the main thing is there. Here we are having some words, okay, letters we can say. So those letters we can fix into these holes and we can display them. So letters and numbers are inserted in the board for the purpose of the display. For purpose of our knowledge or for the purpose of the display, we are inserting the letters and numbers in that one. Next, this is mostly used where? This is mostly used in the hospitals and in government institutions for displaying the census also. And even in order to display the total number of the patients per day. So it is also difficult to maintain it because of the dirt may accumulate in the holes. Then the numbers and the words which are attached in the boards are easily and getting damaged also and detached. Next type of the AVAD is our notice board. So now what is notice board and how we are using this notice board, and we are all familiar with this type of the notice boards also. As the name is indicating, notice board means where we are fixing the notices through which the students or the learners can see what is being the message is being given by the authorities. The various types of notice board we have seen, bigger size or medium size or small size. So depending upon the population or depending upon the strength of the classes, the types of the notice board have been prepared and they will be fixed. Even if we see in the libraries, we see in the classroom, we see just outside the offices also. So various types of notice boards we have seen in our day-to-day lives. Okay, so what are the characteristics of the notice board now? The size of the notice board is there. The notice board comes in the various size and various kinds, as I already told you. And the type and the size will depend upon the purpose for which it is being used and approximate number of the people it will serve on depending upon the people and on the depending on the purpose. So we are using the various types of the notice board also. Now, what are the materials required for the notice board? You have seen the notice board. So how the notice board is made up of, what is it, all the requirement, what are the materials which are with which it has been prepared. We need a one board, that is a wooden board or a cardboard or a plywood. Then we need some colored papers. Then a cloth, we need either it might be a velvet cloth or some khadi cloth. Then a pair of scissors, a paste or a gum or a fevicol we need. Then we need straight or a colored pins to fix the notices. Then some letters, pictures or material of the notice board which we are intended to display on it. So here is just as an example of a notice board, or here is the picture you can see here. Okay, so here the notices have been fixed with the pins. Okay, so preparing of the notice board, that is prepare one central theme, select photographs and drawings, arrange the means yes or V direction and complete the notice board using the by using the pins. So how we can use this? Either we can use arrange the items in Z form or S form or V form, and the directions. And with this, notices can be secured with the help of the pins. So next is the pamphlets. So now what are pamphlets? You are much more familiar with these all type of pamphlets, and these are those AVAs which are recurrently used in our education, health education, for giving health education and all. This type of pamphlets have been used, and even these pamphlets are so easy that one can utilize the paper in both the sides, means not only single side, both the sides also we can print the things. So pamphlets you have seen everywhere. You have seen the brochures. Hope so you have seen the brochures. And then this type of pamphlets for the publicity also, pamphlets also come. So in various areas we are seeing the pamphlets. Okay. So what are these pamphlets now? Pamphlets are a paper. Okay, this is a type of a paper only. They are having either two-fold or five. Even when we go visit a college or a school, we'll be having the brochure. They will give the pamphlet, or we can say small thing they will hand over in our hands, or whenever we go for the conferences and all, they will give us the pamphlets. Okay, so what is the agenda is there, how to do. So this type, that is either two folded one or other five folded one will be there, and there will be the printed matter, either it may be on the one side or on the single side also. Okay, and this type of pamphlets are used in the health education methods also. Next comes a brochure. Now, what is brochure? Now, brochure is a small book with pictures and the information. Especially brochures have been prepared in the government sectors in order to educate the people. They are making small brochures which collect some pictures. So we were seeing about the brochure, that these are a very small booklet. In this small booklet, what we are doing, we are getting the pictures or certain information. It is a small booklet like thing. In that one, everything will be mentioned about that particular institute or whatever the intended theme or intended idea which we are going to give. Let us take an example of the antenatal care or antenatal brochure. So in government hospital, there will be a small brochure which is being given to the antenatal mother. In that one, it will be there. For example, whenever she has to go to checkup, when she has to take injection, what diet she has to take, and how the weaning diet should be given. So this type of. Another example is like awareness programs and all. In awareness programs and all, we can make the brochures. In that one, we can write over that what is that disease, how it is being spread, how we can prevent it, what are the prophylactic measures. So this type of thing, in order to educate the people or educate the students or the learners, what we can do, we can prepare a small booklet form, and in that small booklet form, what we can do, we can give it to the student. Next comes the leaflets. Similar to that of our pamphlets and the brochure, the leaflets are also there. But the difference between the pamphlet and leaflet is that in pamphlet, both the side it is been printed, but in leaflet, it will be single paper only, and it will be either folded or maybe one single full page only, printed on the single side only. Okay. So that is what is the difference between the leaflet and the pamphlet. In pamphlet, what is there? Either it may be two folded or it may be five folded. But in case of leaflet, what it will be there? It is a single paper only, and in pamphlet it is both the side. Okay. Here it is only one single fold is the single fold of the paper might be there, or a single sheet of the paper is there, and only on single side there will be a printed material. The example for this is whenever they are making advertisements and all in the paper, newspapers and all, you receiving that those are called as the leaflets. Okay. Next comes our handouts or handbills. So what are these handouts or handbills? Handouts and handbills are again a type of AVS which can be used in order to give the education to the people. So handouts are nothing but a brief of a session in a single sheet is being displayed. Means whatever the thing we are having in our mind or in our idea, that everything what we are doing, we are putting it in a single sheet and we are hand over it to the people. That is, in a single sheet of a paper, we are briefing our session, and it is used for simple, and it is a clean language, and contains a short sentences also, and it needs sketches, graphs, and should be drawn and labeled also, and we have to give the titles, subtitles, and underline the keywords which are necessary in that one. Then we have to use suitable colors wherever necessary, and handouts can be given in advance to orient the interested group also. The hesitating of the session is in a single seat, and use of a single clear language with a single thing will be there, and we need the sketches, graphs should be drawn and labeled, giving the titles and subtitles, underlining the keywords. The same what I said the above. That these handouts and handbills are those. These are given before starting our class or before orienting our class to our group. In advance only we are giving, and how they are there, they are briefing everything in a one single sheet only, and they are contains a very simple language and clear language. They have short sentences also, and they are neatly labeled. Then sketches and graphs are also used. Keywords are underlined, highlighted, and suitable colors wherever necessary will be used. So that we call it as handouts. Next, the newspaper. You are very much familiar with this type of thing. The newspaper are daily. They furnishes many example like that, so through which we can introduce lessons also. That is the health education messages will be published in our local languages also. You have been seen in our newspapers. There will be one or to article and all in the papers related to health also, through which we can educate the public, and it can reach the public very easily also, and the information is also available at a very low cost also, and it is easy, can reach long many people and understand. It is also easy because it has a very simple language also, and the people may train to read and interpret the contents along with the pictures to enhance the easy grasping. With the help of the newspaper, the people can be trained and they can be understanding the easy language also. Next, a pamphlet or a leaflet should be. How a pamphlet or leaflet should be there? It should be colorful, it should be attractive, then there should be illustrated with the pictures, then it should be simple and precise also. The information should be kept very neat and clear. It should be self-explanatory, means by looking at your pamphlet or the leaflet, it should explain what you are intended to tell, and it should be useful for the population which you are intended to give. Next, what are the advantages? The advantages of these pamphlets, leaflets, handbills, newspaper means, because as they are highly economical, so flexible, we can carry it from one place to another place also, and they are facilitating the individualizing. Each person also can read it and understand it, and they can be reported in any language, any local language. You can use in Hindi, English, whichever language the people can understand easily. That type language you can use in this method, and this type of the aviates will stimulate the interest on the part of the learner also. Next, what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages is it will be only beneficial for those who can read and write, that is the educated people only. So it cannot be used on the illiterate. So it can not be preserved for a long time. We cannot keep this handbills and newspaper and all for a long time. And receiving feedback from all those who have got all this type of pamphlet, brochures, or newspaper. So taking the feedback from them may not be possible. So that was all about our leaflets, pamphlets, and brochures, okay, and newspapers. And there is an exercise for your today's class, that is that you have to list the different types of the aviates which are dealt in our today's both the classes with the examples, okay. And the learning outcome, the student will identify and describe the various types of the aviates also, and the student will understand the application of the aviates in teaching. And our student effective learning outcome was that application of the concepts of the topic and its technological application, and the ability to interpret, analyze data into the information, and to design and conduct the experiments. So understanding available tools and products, and ability to use them effectively, and adapting thinking skills. So these were our references, that is KP Neeraja, Suresh Sharma, and Neelam Kumari. These are our few references. So once I'll just revise the whole both the classes which I have done. So in our today's classes, we have seen about the aviates. The aviates, we have seen about the purpose of the bulletin board, that is attracting for the students, effective communication, promoting creativity with both the students and the learner, and as an effective educational media and for a larger audience also. We have seen the advantages. Advantages are a good supplementation for the traditional classroom also. It is arousing the interest in the subjects which the students are not interested also in that particular subject. It is arousing the interest, I mean to say. And these are effectively used with the chalkboard also, and you can get a follow-up also for a revision. It can be used, okay. Then disadvantages are these boards cannot be used for all the inclusive teaching, and it has only used for the supplementary, means additional aid like we are using it, and relevant materials collection may be difficult here, and it becomes a challenging task to the teacher, as it requires a artistic or the creative potentialities also. Okay, and may not be possible to give the proper theme also. Then we saw the panel board. Panel board had a board on which we are fixing some uh, material of cloth, and then on that one we are putting the pictures. Okay, and we can remove the pictures whenever needed also. Then we saw the principles also, and we saw the articles of the panel board. Then how to prepare the panel board and what size of the panel board should be there. Then what are the advantages of the panel board? We saw that also. So local material, convenient, portable, dynamic, okay, easily transported from one to another. Then prepared with the various presentations also, for the sequencing also, for getting the attention of the students. So these are all the things which we dealt in the panel board, and these are the disadvantages of the panel board also. They require the advanced preparation, artistic ability is required in making the homemade figures also, and can be used on the small group also, and may create a confusion if sequences of the pictures may be changed and may not be useful for abstract learning. For the magnetic board, which is prepared of iron, and on that we are fixing the magnetic items also. Then pegboard, which has holes, and we are fixing the alphabets on it, and we can remove it whenever we need. When we saw the notice board also, then how it is being prepared. Then we saw the pamphlets, both the sides printing will be there, and either it may be 2 or 5 folded one. Then we saw the brochure, which collects a small book and is having the pictures and information. Then we saw the leaflets, only single-sided printing is there, or single fold may be present in that one. Then we saw the handbills and handouts, which are given in advance to the group for the orientation, and then we are using some small sentences, small languages, easy languages, so that they can understand very easily. Then we saw the newspaper. Then we saw how the pamphlet or a leaflet should be, that is colorful, attractive, with illustrated pictures, simple, precise, informative, self-explanatory, and useful. And about the advantages and the disadvantages. That's all about all the aviates in the today's class, and we will see some more types of aviates in the upcoming classes. Thanks for your attentive listening. Thank you.